Welcome to part 3 of our tutorial series on secondary sources in legal research. This video will cover legal treatises. This is a tutorial by the Jerome Hall Law Library at Indiana University Maurer School of Law. In this brief video, we will discuss what legal treatises are and when they can be of use in legal research, with brief demonstrations of how to locate these materials in two major legal research databases, Westlaw and Lexis. Legal treatises are lengthy expositions on a broad area of law, written by experts on that subject, and providing healthy explanation of minute issues within that legal subject area. As we continue to compare the different types of secondary sources in law, legal treatises fall toward the upper end of the authority spectrum. Their detailed analysis of a particular legal subject, written by preeminent scholars in that area, lend treatises a high level of regard and reliance in the legal profession. In fact, while it's rare to cite to a secondary source, legal treatises are one of the types of secondary sources that you do occasionally see reference to in court documents and even judicial opinions. A treatise can come in handy as you begin your legal research, particularly when you're confronted with an unfamiliar area of law. The authoritativeness of a treatise can set your mind at ease as you become acquainted with this legal subject. Legal treatises are particularly helpful if you have a question on a substantive area of law, such as copyright, or if you have a question of procedure, whether criminal or civil. Most treatises are available in print as well as electronically through Lexis or Westlaw. This is another area where it's prudent to check both databases, as each will have rights to particular treatise titles. Nimmer on Copyright, pictured here, is published by Matthew Bender, a company affiliated with LexisNexis. Therefore, you'll find this treatise on Lexis, but not on Westlaw. If you're trying to determine the best treatise to look for on a particular subject, the Law Library at Georgetown Law has put together a convenient online list of treatises on a wide range of subjects. For many legal subjects, multiple treatises can be found. This treatise finder can be a helpful tool for seeking out the preeminent treatise on a particular legal topic. Within each topic, they list the available treatises with brief descriptions of each title, and include icons to let you know where they are available and whether the title is a preeminent authority on that topic. Now that we understand how and when to use legal treatises, let's take a quick look at how to find them and their available features on Westlaw and Lexis. There are several ways to search for legal treatises on Westlaw. To search quickly across all content, begin from the main search bar. We'll continue with our hypothetical about the permissibility of school locker searches. This will bring up results in multiple content types. Switch your content type on the left to secondary sources. Secondary sources is still a rather broad category. You can therefore further filter on the left by publication type to texts and treatises. If your result list is still too large, you might try narrowing further, for example by searching within results for another keyword. Find a search result that looks most relevant to your research question and click to enter. There are a few things to note here. We start with basic publication information, like the date of the most recent update and the author names. Then we get to the text of the treatise entry, which you'll notice is a little more in depth than the encyclopedia entry we looked at in the previous video. Footnotes follow the text, and if you hover over the footnote numbers within the entry, the authority cited will pop up. What you don't get in this example are tabs at the top of the page to show us citing references or a table of authorities. So with treatises, the content you receive on Westlaw is fairly straightforward, just the text itself. One final item of note is that at the top of the document, there's a table of contents button. Treatise entries are arranged topically, so it's possible that there are neighboring entries in this title that might be of additional use to you. You can view the full table of contents at the top of this list. An additional method for searching for treatises is to navigate to that collection first before running your search. This also eliminates some of the post-search filtering we performed earlier. Below the search bar on the home page, in the Content Types tab, click on Secondary Sources, and under By Type, click on Texts and Treatises. You can filter further by specific title or topic, or search the collection using the filtered search bar at the top of the page. For example, a relevant topic for our research question might be constitutional law. One last thing of note about legal treatises is that it can be difficult in an electronic format to differentiate encyclopedias from treatises. They don't always have the term encyclopedia or treatise in their title, and their entries can look fairly similar in website format. Often, the scope note for a publication on Lexis or Westlaw will help you determine what type of secondary source you're looking at. The scope note is found by clicking on the encircled I next to a secondary source's title. For example, if I was interested in the title Modern Constitutional Law, but I wasn't sure what type of resource this was, I could click on the scope note, which provides coverage updates, content highlights, and in the contents field tells me that this title is a treatise. Next, we'll move to Lexis to see how to search legal treatises with that service. You will notice many similarities between searching Lexis and searching Westlaw. As with Westlaw, you may start your treatise search from the main search bar. From the search results list, change your view on the left to secondary materials. Next, you can narrow further by selecting Treatises and Guides from the subcategory list on the left. You may choose to filter even further by such facets as jurisdiction, source, or searching within your results for an additional keyword. For example, we might filter this list by source to the publication called Search and Seizure. Scan through your search results and find one that looks relevant to you. And within the document, there are a few things to note. First, we get a brief heading showing where this entry fits within the rest of this treatise, followed by the entry itself. Clicking on a footnote brings up the cited authority in text. The full text of footnotes follows the text of the entry itself. If you want to view the table of contents, it's available from the left-hand margin. And if you want to view the scope note for this title to learn more about it, such as whether it's a treatise or an encyclopedia, the scope note is available from the top of the full table of contents page. Scroll to the top, and you'll see the lowercase I icon. While this description does not use the word treatise or encyclopedia, the description itself, noting that it's written by an expert on the topic and that it provides in-depth analysis, insights, and practice tips, suggests that the title is a treatise rather than an encyclopedia. As in Westlaw, there are no tabs at the top of the page for this treatise entry. We don't have a way of knowing what other content on Lexis has cited this entry, and we aren't provided the handy table of authorities to quickly see all cases cited in this entry. Off to the right, however, Lexis identifies additional topics we could research based on this entry. For instance, if our specific question about locker searches is one's expectation of privacy, we could click on that topic and view the topic summary, which provides major cases, additional secondary sources, and more to help us research this narrower topic further. To wrap up, treatises offer in-depth treatment of a particular area of law or procedure. They're written by experts on that particular legal topic and are considered highly authoritative. If you are looking for a preeminent treatise on a particular legal subject, the Georgetown Treatise Finders are an excellent free source to use. While you do not typically cite to a secondary source, a treatise is a rare exception, as you will even on occasion find court opinions where the presiding judge cites to the leading treatise on a subject. This concludes the tutorial on legal treatises. If you have any questions, the research librarians are happy to help.